seasoned with urge. And this rap shit's in need of an immediate purge. I'm only interested in action. Naturally, I'm vigilant with passion. The Lionsgate I'm behind is no acting. The NBA in the streets got three things in common. The players in it are good with stealing, shooting, and passing. If you ain't got the footwork, you ain't gon' make the workout. A lot have tried, but ended up dead before the draft. Dirty flow like an abandoned house basement. Roaming the underground, I was bred under the pavement. The bars off the boat, fresh dope and it's the pipeline. Potent enough to overdose for 3 lifetimes. Y'all niggas can't be serious. They got you confused, the album sales determines who the best is. And we know damn well none of them niggas close to that. Poke out your chest like Superman and we gon' open that. Expect a militant approach. When I'm stepping in, I'm focused with no intention to fail, cause they hoping that. Instrumentally toned for destruction. The bass ain't even needed, cause the drum got bullets sounding like an open hat. Under the ground is overly live. You coming hot, you getting covered with the Shade 45. This sport requires a different kind of cloth, and you ain't cut for it. You ain't got the mind equipped enough to survive under the pavement.
Yo, what's happening, man? It's William Bostick. This is the first episode of Under the Pavement, the podcast. Everybody asked me why I decided to do this podcast, because there's certain things we can't do on radio that we could do here. There's certain things that on radio, when it comes to interviews, that we can't do that we can do here. Certain topics on radio we can't talk about that we gonna talk about here. So, without further ado, my first guest, y'all may not know him. I know him. But y'all may not know him. And y'all gonna get to know him. Trust me, very, very soon. His name is The Lettuce. And we gonna get into who he is, where he from, and why I had him come on the platform. Because things are about to get real interesting today. First and foremost, let me welcome my man, The Lettuce, up here. It's the first podcast, my first go at this. As I was telling you earlier, I'm doing everything myself. So pardon me, y'all, the world, if things may seem a little wonky, but I'm doing it all on my own. I am the technician, audio guy, interviewer, journalist, whatever the fuck you want to call me. All right? So Lettuce, man.
What's good?
First and foremost, let the people know, where did you get the name The Lettuce?
That's a common question. It's funny you should ask. I have some family members who were into the cultivation of marijuana for the past 25 years.
Okay.
And with the legalization and social acceptance of marijuana, I was talking to them, and I'm like, hey, we got to figure out a way to brand this stuff.
Word.
And
it's all about branding nowadays.
All about branding. And so I was sitting down watching a documentary, and some sort of public figure, I don't know if it was a president or the governor of New York, was like, hey, these kids are smoking that dope, that devil's lettuce. And I said, that's it, devil's lettuce.
Devil's lettuce.
And this was initially for the branding for my people.
Okay.
Made a couple of shirts, couple of hats, put it on some sneakers. And these folks are, they're creators. So if you're an artist, sometimes the artist just wants to create. They don't want to have nothing to do with none of that extra stuff. So,
that's a fact.
I'll tell you later on. I'm sure that you have questions for me, but I'll tell you why I adopted that name.
Okay.
And so the lettuce was really something for somebody else.
Okay. So the lettuce, yeah. The devil's lettuce.
Correct.
That was big, yeah, back in the days. If I'm correct, that's what they used to call weed in the 60s.
That's a fact.
The devil's lettuce.
It's lettuce.
Yeah. Where you from? Let the people know where you from.
I'm from New York, man. I'm from New York. I'm
What
a New
borough?
York dude. I was born in Metropolitan Hospital on 97th Street. Ties to Millbrook Projects in the South Bronx.
Okay.
Spent time on 88th in Amsterdam, 96 and 3rd, Normandy
Okay.
Court. Spent
Shout
some
out
time
to
in
everybody on
Bay Ridge,
Amsterdam Avenue.
and I currently call home the Upper New York Mid-Hudson region. So I'm a New York State guy.
New York,
State,
period.
all, period.
New York,
Point blank,
period.
punto.
So get that straight.
Don't get it twisted, get it right. You know what I'm saying?
So I gotta ask you, everybody who comes up here, that for the people that come up here and that I've interviewed in the past on the radio and all that, you being a recording artist, for the people that don't know, one of the dopest rappers sitting right next to me. And y'all gonna get a taste of some shit. I guarantee you, within the next 6 to 8 months, y'all gonna get blasted with a bunch of fucking music. Pause. When did you take an interest in writing?
Well, I received the transmission from the frequency when I was a kid.
Okay.
I can't explain to you how or why. I'm one of those kids. I'm a New York kid. I'm, from the, ties to the South Bronx, Upper West, East Side, all over the place. And I remember as a kid, my mother every year would buy me a boombox with a tape deck.
Nice.
And every Friday night, I don't know if I heard somebody talking about it or I picked it up. I remember being in elementary school and just recording Red Alert and all these guys at night. So I just picked it up, and I had family members who were into music, and I just picked it up. So I always been into music in my mind. So when I started writing, I would say I was a young teenager.
Okay.
When I started writing.
Okay. And who were some of the people that influenced you to write?
Oh man, Nas, of course. My first, who was it? Third Base, Kwame, Video Music Box, and anybody. I just loved the music. Picking Boogers, I think, was probably the first record that I ever heard.
Rest in peace to Biz Markie, man.
Shout out to Biz
Very,
Markie.
very dope record. A lot of people, when they play Biz, a lot of the DJs, they kind of skip over Picking Boogers.
That was my favorite record.
That record is incredible.
Yeah, Picking Boogers, and then, of course, Slick Rick, the storytelling and stuff like that.
Storytelling and Slick Rick. You can't go wrong with that. Yeah, definitely. But outside of rap, I'm going to ask you this question. It's going to throw you for a loop. When did you take an interest in writing poetry?
Well, rap is poetry. Poetry is rap. So I think they both live in the same world, depending how you're choosing to serve it. I'm cut from a cloth. My training as a hip-hop artist comes from my uncle, DJ Carlos, who would just put on random records and be like, rap to this. So I think that with that training since a little kid, I've been able to adapt that into different scenarios where I could take one of my raps and present it in a way that's digestible as poetry.
Nice. Shout out to DJ Carlos for sparking that. You know what I mean?
100%.
Shout out to my uncles who sparked the interest in me for me being a DJ when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for them. So shout out to all the old school cats.
Theo, what up?
Word. Shout out to all the old school cats that paved the way for us to do what we do now. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just the Flashes, the Bams, the Kool Hercs. There's a lot of unnamed legends, man. And further into this podcast, as we get into, more and more episodes, you're going to see and you're going to hear stories and things of that, because I plan on bringing a bunch of the old school cats.
I look
up
forward
here.
to that.
You know what I mean?
100%.
But back to the letters. So you've been recording now for how long?
So I got back into the love of hip hop. I want to say it was 2023. So with the attempt of the Devil's Letters branding and my people saying it wasn't for them, my kids actually wanted to go to an open mic. I got teenage daughters, and they were helping out and opening up a cultural center up in Monticello, New York. And they said, "Hey, Pop, there's an open mic. We want to go." And I said, "Yeah, let's go. I love open mics."
Nice.
The interesting about this story is my kids knew none of my history and rap. So we walk in the building, and the greeter at the door, shout out to the Black Library. I walk in with my kids. And
word.
like, hey.
Shout out to the Black Library up in Monticello, New York. If you ever up in Monticello, go check them out, man.
Yeah, so they're doing beautiful things over
Word
there.
up.
Shout out to DJ and Mike. So I walk in, and the greeter was like, "Hey, you gonna perform tonight?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You want me to?" And she was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Well, what's your name?" I said, "My name is David Ray." That's my name.
Yeah.
And my kids were looking at me. They were mortified. I got a video I'll show you later off camera. In fact, I'll send you the video so you can probably put it up as a clip.
No doubt.
And I went up there, and I had something in my mind. And again, a cappella, and I just recited something that I had in my mind, and it was received well.
Nice.
And because of that opportunity, I started going back every other week, and then I started to fall back in love with the music. And
Hell
then,
yeah.
you know, it's funny how things, you attempt one thing. The beautiful thing is about trying. Yo, listen, man, you got to try everything because
Yeah.
you don't know what it's going to lead to. Everything
Facts.
is like branches, so you don't know what it is. So starting to do these clothing, it got me back into music and doing a whole bunch of other things. So that's really how I got back into hip hop.
Yeah.
Was through an open mic at the Black Library.
Fucking dope.
Yeah, man.
Really, really dope. Shout out once again, shout out to the Black Library up in Monticello, New York. Doing some pretty decent things up there, man.
Beautiful.
For the culture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So that sparked, you know, the interest in the poetry, and you know, it sparked you to come back to start doing things. When did you start recording?
Ooh. So I started recording on my phone.
Ah,
And my little brother, shout out to JR, he's in Chicago now. I had some old beats that we had, and I just started recording. I was really trying to impress my daughter. So
Okay.
she likes Tyler. So I think
Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah, and ASAP, they have a record called Potato Salad.
yes.
So I said, yo, for the next open mic, I'm gonna do this. What record you like? So I put one of my verses to that. So I was really trying to impress my daughter.
Okay.
And then it just started growing legs, and people started hollering at me. So back to the whole lettuce thing. So I go back probably the third or fourth week to showcase my talent and hit this. I'm gonna bring this back full circle to the beginning when I was telling you that contingent on how you present something, it's all stage and setting.
Yeah.
So yeah, my rap is just that. It's mine.
Yep.
But if I'm serving it in a setting that requires me to do it as a you know, poetry or spoken word,
Yeah.
you have to be able to adapt to that. I don't need a beat for everything, even though I like it. That's my preferred plate.
True indeed.
You know what I'm saying? But I was able to do all these raps, but like present
Many,
it like
there's many
poetry.
different forms of way to present your art.
Yeah,
yeah, you're correct.
And the people were receptive, and then I get off stage, and this lady comes up to me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "Yo, what's your stage name?" And
For
I'm
those of y'all out there, the lady he speaks on is my cousin Shantae. Shout out to my cousin Shantae.
like, "Shout out to y'all.
Word.
Love," and that was a beautiful thing. She seen my journey, and she was like, "Yo, but what's your name?" And I was like, "My name is David. What's your Instagram?" "Oh, the Lettuce NYC." So they started calling me the Lettuce. It's a name that just came just like that from it. So I said,
By
you know
chance,
what?
they just
Yeah.
was like, fuck it, this is
I
what
got
we
clothes,
gonna
I got hats, I got sneakers. Fuck it, I'm gonna run with it. Cause I truly believe you should be given your name.
do. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So nobody gave me my name. I named myself.
Word.
That's another thing. Don't wait for nobody to do it. Just do it.
Word.
Straight
My
like
name was
that.
given to me. My graffiti name was actually given to me by a kid I grew up with who passed away. When I was like 14. Yeah. So I get that.
Yeah.
The name should be given to you. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't want to be Little Big Dick. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Real
know, all
shit.
these littles and all, you know, whatever, man.
Yeah.
I figured it's something different.
Too
you know,
many
you know, whatever.
littles and too many youngs. That's
Straight
that's
like
in my opinion. I gotta ask you, what's your take on today's boom bap scene?
Y'all
Like
better
these
be
younger
careful.
kids.
They better be careful. I think that these kids have been touching the stove while the pilot light is on, and these dudes from the 70s and 80s, these are embers that still have fire in them. And we just, you know, fire. You need 3 components with fire.
This is
and
a
that's
fact.
spark, fuel, and air. I think once that wind starts blowing, we're gonna come back full circle in hip hop to the way it was, where there's individuality. There's not none of this fuckery. I think that all of my boom bappers, if you want to categorize it as that, I look at things as art, as hip hop. It's all hip hop. But for the people that this boom bap resurgence, I think that we have it's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a beautiful thing.
And
I'm excited about it.
I definitely agree with the fact of you saying y'all better be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful, tread lightly. Because you don't want to rub one of us old school niggas the wrong way. Because y'all, some of y'all young cats, and this is not all of y'all, because I got a lot of respect for some of you cats who submit music, you know, to me for my show. And then there's some that I'm just like, damn, y'all really stepping on like people's toes with the approach, the way y'all come off, and some of the social media antics. And you know what? I know from experience because I'm guilty of it. You know what I'm saying? I was once that asshole. You know what I'm saying? Don't be the asshole because you the young kid and you think you got all this fire. Don't wake one of these old school motherfuckers up, man. Cause you get a motherfucker like Craig G, or you get a motherfucker like Kane. You know what I'm saying? That'll come and whoop your ass lyrically, man. So yeah,
Pick
stay
you up
in
and
y'all.
dust you off.
Word up.
You know, and right now it's all about, you know, I love what's happening. First of all, I appreciate what you're doing. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna kind of take this over real quick. I gotta give Willie B, William Bostick, the old man Billy, whatever you want to call him. I gotta give him his flowers because he is actually spearheading this resurgence, and I see it all over. You know, and for those people that know. Look, I feel like, I don't know if you guys have you ever seen the movie Rudy?
Yeah.
All right, I feel like Rudy,
Yeah.
right? Because I always want to play. And this guy, I'm on the field now because we're down, and he's like, give this kid a shot, and he threw the football. But guess what? I'm gonna make that catch. I'm gonna make that play. And there's hundreds of thousands of me. To be clear.
No
so
doubt.
you know, they definitely have to be careful about what they're talking about because we coming.
And to further elaborate on what you were just saying, as far as me being a part of the resurgence of this younger generation of boom bap, I've given a lot of artists opportunities. There's a lot of artists that have like burned that bridge or have fumbled the ball. I don't like to brag or boast. You know, I'm not one of those that, you know, I did this, I did that, but I helped a lot of platinum fucking artists, man. So,
You know who you are.
you know, sometimes I tell these younger cats, yo, pay attention to what I'm saying because I'm dropping some jewels and you ain't never know how fucking long I'm gonna be here to continue to drop these jewels on your ass. Pause. You know what I mean? With that being said, we're gonna play a little game. We got this thing we're gonna do here, right? We're gonna do this thing called word association. It's been something that's been for decades. You know what I'm saying? People have done this for decades. So for those young minds that are watching this that don't know what this is, I'm gonna say a name, a word, something, a place, whatever comes to your mind, the word that comes to your mind to describe it, whatever, the feeling. That's what you're gonna come.
Okay.
All right. First and foremost, shout out to my sponsors. Once again, the Radio 1 New York, which is my sponsor, my company. I sponsor my fucking self right now at the moment. All right.
Let's go.
But yeah, the word association. Let's get to it.
I think I gotta get comfortable for this, man. Hold on.
And this is it gets crazy because you know I used to do this on the radio show, and I had stopped doing it because there was one episode. I'm not gonna mention the person's name, but something went crazy. No, you good. You're amazing. Some went crazy, and some of his answers to the word association were just a little too disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna do this word association thing.
We're here.
So
Hat off.
we're gonna do this word association. Got my guy Lettuce in the house.
What's up, y'all?
New York City, New York State representative. All right, man. Rakim,
Legend.
Will Smith,
Dangerous.
Dave East,
Little nigga. Respectfully. That's what I heard 50 say just now. First thing that came to my mind. I love Dave East.
I can respect it. Vanilla Ice,
Legend.
I can respect that. You know what? A lot of y'all gonna be like, yo, Vanilla Ice legend. How? Y'all gotta understand something. That motherfucker came in the game and did something at a time where it was like, it was unheard of for any white artist to rap and go platinum at that. And
had
your
a banger.
man went diamond.
And he could come fix your floors.
Leave him
He's very
alone.
talented.
Leave him alone. And he rides them BMX bikes pretty nice. Leave him alone. Guys, yeah, he's a legend, so I definitely agree. Brooklyn, New York.
Protect your neck.
Protect your neck.
Protect your neck.
I could have. Hey, Donald Trump.
He underappreciated.
Oh man.
Underappreciated.
Oh man. Here we go. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. Los Angeles.
Would love to visit. Nipsey.
Nipsey. Okay. Rest in peace to the cuz Nipsey Hussle. Fashion.
Fashion Lust Podcast. Sharonda, what up?
Okay. Jesse Jackson.
Good hair.
Rest in peace to Jesse Jackson, man. That was a good dude. Excuse me. A lot of political fuck ups on his part. He tried to run for so many offices and so many different fucking seats and shit, and
Splash.
his shit was always lit, and he could never get a seat nowhere. He was just always talking some shit. All right, Muhammad Ali.
Let's float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Bzzz, you already know. Yeah, man. Muhammad Ali, greatest ever. I'm gonna take a quick little turn real quick, and I'm gonna ask you about something. Then we're gonna get back to the word association. What is your take on Mike Tyson fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
I mean, at this point, I'm ready to start selling pictures of my feet on the internet. So if it's a money grab, I'm with it. The fucked up part is I'm gonna tune in. You know, those are two of my favorite people. You know, I love Mike Tyson. And shout out to Floyd Mayweather. It's a money grab, in my opinion. You know, so it's wrestling, man, WWF. But, you know, guess what? I'm going to tune in and watch, of course. And, you know what? I'm a supporter.
Me off guard, but yeah, okay. I definitely agree with you, though. It is a money grab. But from Tyson's history on his hatred towards Floyd Mayweather, I don't see him going into this fight like he went into that Jake Paul fight. That Jake Paul fight was staged. Him biting on his glove and all that, that was him trying to hold back from whooping Jake Paul's ass. For real, for real.
I see that.
So it was scripted. He was paid a lot of money to dance around with Jake Paul, throw a couple of, you know, joints, but take the L.
Right.
With this, I don't see him doing that because of his hate of Floyd. He does not like the kid. He does not. 50's even spoken on it. Where one time 50 was, you know, seeing Mike, and Mike closed the door behind him and was like, yo, you know I don't like this dude. Like, I cannot stand this guy. Like, for real. So I don't see him going into that fight that way. But it is a money grab.
Yeah, but the thing about Mike Tyson is he's volatile. And we know that.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
He's a
never
tick of
know.
time bomb.
You don't know which way he's gonna go. He's
Yeah.
unexpected. You know, so that's the reason why people are gonna tune in. I'm gonna tune in because
I'm
I love
definitely
Mike. I
gonna
think
watch.
he's
I'm gonna
brilliant.
watch
I'ma
the fight.
it. I might even pay for it.
Yeah,
You know what
I'm gonna watch the fight. I'm gonna watch the fight because I want to see how Mike's gonna approach this shit. Because I know how Floyd's gonna approach it. It's showboating the way he always is. He gonna try to dance around the ring, try to hit Mike with some shit and float and do his little shuffle and all that. I want to see if Mike's gonna try to corner him and beat the life out of him. Because even though it's an exhibition, Mike don't give a fuck about that money. He go in there, he don't like you, he gonna beat you up.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? The Pacquiao and Mayweather thing is interesting too. Yeah, it's a money grab for the both of them. I think both of them are fucking broke now. They done ran through all that bread, which is
As they
insane.
should.
But which is insane though. Like, how do you have Floyd was what? He had like $600 million, bro. How do you run through that?
I would
Like you
to have
bought
that problem,
properties.
sir.
Yeah, I would like to have that. But I don't think I would be able to run through that. I guess it was
Now.
the stupid decisions he made, I guess, on his part. But you could tell they both broke. And yeah, there's a money grab for
Well,
them.
I think, especially for those exhibitions, though, I think what's important about those fights are the fights leading up to that fight, which, you know, will showcase diamonds in the rough. So I think that also is something that would be special in regards to these types of fights.
Yeah.
Is that we're gonna see people on the come up, people who have real talent, similar to what you're doing for me, man. So I appreciate it.
No doubt, for sure. I'm like I said, I'm definitely gonna watch both the
Oh,
fights.
no question.
Both
No
of them.
question. 100%.
But I'm really more interested in the Tyson and Mayweather fight because I want to see
See if
what
it's real.
Tyson's approach is gonna be. Like, I want to see if he's gonna approach this shit like how he approached that Jake Paul fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really disappointed when I seen that shit. Like, I wanted to cry, man. I'm a dude who came up watching him in '86. Like, watching him on HBO for 28 seconds in the first round, knocking motherfuckers' heads off. So it's fucking weird.
What I love about Mike though, he's grateful, and ever since the I think when he had that podcast, the
Yeah, he still does the podcast
fire,
too. Yeah,
fire.
he still
He's
does
brilliant.
the podcast.
He's brilliant. He's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, he does the podcast, and he also does the what you need. Oh, he said he's looking for his vape.
For my baby.
Yeah, he does the podcast. It was the funny shit. I think the funniest episode of his podcast was when he had the game up there, and he gave the game the mushrooms, the mushroom chocolate, and him and Game started tripping. Like 25 minutes later, he started bugging on Game. I thought he was gonna get up and beat up Game at one point. Cause them shrooms that have you doing something different.
That's a
so
fact.
yeah, man. Let's get back to this word association. Soldier Boy.
Tell him.
Hey.
Tell him. Shout out to Soldier Boy. I mean, listen.
Super
man.
shout out to Soldier Boy. A lot of people be like, yo, he be capping, he be saying this and that. There's certain things he be capping about. One thing I can say, that kid, he was the first motherfucker to put a video on YouTube, bro.
Ringtone Lord. Right?
Fact. He made all his
Ringtone
money. He
money.
made all his money on ringtones.
Listen,
Majority of his bread.
One thing I gotta say, when it comes to all that capping, and I don't subscribe to none of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm knocking off. Yo, listen, that's your plate of food. You gotta eat that.
Yeah.
So you gotta sleep at night. So if you comfortable, knock yourself out. Yeah. So if he's the cap lord, let him be that. But I fucks with
I know he be doing a lot of shit for like the first time. Like the other day, I seen a post with him, and it made me laugh. He pulls up in a car that's I think it was a phone, like a big phone, but it was a car, like it was an actual
Nokia?
phone, like a phone or some shit. But he pulled up and he was like, yeah, I'm the first one to pull up in this. And in my mind, I'm like, you really are, because ain't nobody else pulling up in that shit, bro. The kid is hilarious. So shout out to Soldier Boy.
Gotta
man.
respect his marketing genius too. For a young man, a young black man, to be able to do what he did at his age during
Facts.
that time, shout out to him.
He was 16 years old. He was 16 years old. He had a hacked demo copy of FL Studio at the time. It was called Fruity Loops. He made the beat to Soldier Boy. Tell him that, ooh, don't. He made that shit on FL Studio with a cracked version of it. At 16, he recorded the song himself. Put the shit on MySpace and it became a fucking hit. Bro, shout out to Soldier Boy.
Shout out to Soldier.
All right, let's continue. Prodigy.
Oh man, legend. Love Prodigy.
Got any Prodigy stories?
I do. Was at the Puerto Rican parade one year.
Okay.
I was in the company of two females, and just standing there, me and these two shorties from school. And this kid walks up. He's with another dude. I'm looking at him. He asked me for directions or something. Asked me if I'm chilling, and I'm like, "Yo, you Prodigy, right?" He was like, "Yeah." And we just started chopping it. We smoked a couple of L's together.
That's what's up.
It was beautiful. He just chilled with me and these two chicks, and he was with his man, and it was beautiful. I love Prodigy. I think, at one point in time, the best of the best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Legendary. Rest in peace, Prodigy, man.
Word.
I love that guy.
Rest in
Definitely,
peace to
I'm
Prodigy,
influenced
man.
by Prodigy for sure.
For
100%.
sure. Definitely. Rest in peace to Prodigy. Shout out to Havoc, man. I'm going to just take a little side note right here. Keep it on this Mobb Deep. So Mobb Deep dropped the last album they dropped, which
Yes.
was can't Infinite. I am going to give my opinion. Whether people want to hear it or not, I'm going to give my opinion. Why? Because Prodigy was my homie. And me and Prodigy had numerous conversations pertaining to music and pertaining to the Mobb Deep crew and the whole brand and all that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think P would have approved of that album being released the way it was. The music wasn't, and I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but the music wasn't completely up to par. And what I'm saying is, shout out to Eddie Sancho. You're a fucking legend, bro. You are a legend. You did all the Gangstar shit. You mixed and mastered all of it. Cool. We know you for that. You fucked that Mobb Deep album up. The mix and master on that album was horrible, bro. When I listened to the way Prodigy's vocals sounded and how the production it was mixed on that, I was so upset. Like super duper upset. Because I know Prodigy, his ear was, and shout out to Havoc once again. I know you did your best, but son, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. I think y'all should go back to the drawing board and do something else because that wasn't it. And as much as I love P, I was disappointed. And I copped it on vinyl. I listened to it digitally. And yo, it's the same shit both ways. Like it was a horribly mixed album. Let's say that.
So I'm gonna ask you this because I've heard a lot of people who wasn't really familiar with P. They did go visit this album and they enjoyed it. I think because of them bringing it current.
It was
like what
it's the lore. It's the lore of the Mobb Deep. Wow. You know, P's dead. You want to hear someone who has passed. You want, like, this is a perfect example, like, for me, for instance. Remember the Scenario remix?
Of course.
There's the first kid that raps on it. His name is Kid Hood, right? He's from Queens. He's from Southside Jamaica, Queens.
Shout out, kid.
Kid Hood was super fucking dope. We wanted to hear more from him, not only because he killed that verse, but because he was dead. So it's like any dead rapper, we want to hear more from them, more. Whatever was unreleased, we want to hear. That's why Tupac's estate did so well with all that music. He knew, somebody gonna kill me eventually. Let me record all this music because you never know how long you're gonna be around. And look, they still releasing Tupac shit.
Crazy.
You know what? We almost 30 years since he died, something like that. And he's still releasing Tupac music. There's still unreleased verses and unreleased shit. So naturally, people with the lore of, oh shit, a new Mobb Deep album, people were fucking jumping out their seat. So with that being said, I feel like they should have made sure that album sonically was all the way it. I am not only gonna blame Eddie Sancho, because Sancho could have submitted his mixes, and the people at them offices who supposedly know music, mass appeal, pow pow, that supposedly know music, they let that shit fly. Because if that would have been me in the office, I'd have been like, nah, can we get some new mixes on these records for, some comparison here? Because that wasn't it. Like, it just wasn't it. Once again, shout out to Have, man. He love you, but I was not impressed by that shit. But back to word association. Jay-Z.
Legend in my lifetime.
Okay. How you feeling about him releasing all this music now?
I think that
the
people
old school?
I feel like when it comes to Hove,
Because he just released 2 songs that were never available on streaming platforms before. He released the original version to Dead Presidents.
you played it the other day on the show.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you for
then no doubt, and then he released the other day the original version to Wishing on a Star, which has never been available on streaming platforms.
But for me, it don't matter because I heard them. Why? Because the underground DJs, the mixtape DJs were playing it.
No
So
doubt.
congratulations for those of you who heard it for the first time. But that's old work to me.
Yeah, it's old work to us. I'm wondering why he's putting this music out because Jay doesn't do anything unless he has some sort of fucking plan coming behind it. You know what I'm saying? I got a funny feeling he getting ready to put out some new music. Like there may be an album coming, and that talk that Bleak was talking about, him coming out with some shit, it may be happening soon.
And that would be dope. I mean, we all gonna tune into Jay, but I think that a lot of people are disinterested at this point. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that Hove, if you're listening, I hope that you bring the narrative back to the boom bap to what things are happening. I think he sees that. So if I was a betting man, I would say he would be leaning more towards what it is that's going on with what you're doing.
And can we get some like assistance to all them artists over there at Rock Nation that's being slaved? Okay, next.
Free the rappers.
Nas.
My favorite. Look, Nas got on the Nas. Good Nas.
Okay.
I don't know if you can
Yeah.
bring it to the camera.
Okay. Word Illmatic on the back. Okay. Nice.
Heavily influenced by Illmatic, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, hip hop album ever. Resonated with me at the right time. I love Nas.
Yeah.
I love Nas.
Yeah. Nas, to me,
goat.
his pen, it's on another level. Like super duper on another level. You know what I'm saying? You can't, it's like since Illmatic, he's just gotten better and better and better and better. You know, and everybody always says, Illmatic is his best album. It's dope. It was the intro. To me, his best work was it was written.
A lot of people say that.
It was written. One, he had matured. He knew how to approach creating an album. The first one, it was just kind of songs that were produced and kind of thrown together. There was no real storyline to it. It was written, had a storyline to it. He knew how to put an album together that took you on a journey. He learned that after Illmatic. So to me, it was written is better than Illmatic. It was
They
better
both,
recorded
They
album.
both sit on the top shelf for me.
Yeah, it was a better studio recorded album to me, in my
I
opinion.
think stage and setting though, why I resonate with Illmatic because it was probably one of my big bros was like, yo, this Illmatic record came out. This guy named Nas, he's dope. And we went to cop it together. And I sat with that record for months. I mean, back and forth, listening to the music and really sitting with the record. I had a cousin in the penitentiary at the time. So One Love was one of those records that resonated with me.
Yeah, hell
You
yeah.
know, from the J's, the Pissy Staircases. So for me, it's one of my favorite albums, if not the favorite. My favorite album, contrary to popular belief, is the Jackson 5 Christmas album.
Very dope. Very dope.
Honestly.
Shout out to the Jackson 5. Shout out to the whole
don't
Jackson.
cry, don't cry.
Shout out to the whole Jackson family. They got a Michael Jackson movie biopic that's getting ready to come out.
I think his nephew's
And
playing,
yeah, his nephew, Jermaine's son, is playing him. Apparently, I seen this in the news yesterday. Janet apparently seen the screening of it and immediately got on the phone with Jermaine and had it out with Jermaine. Like, apparently she feels like they only casted the nephew because he's the nephew.
She wanted to play
But
Mike.
no.
I'm just saying. I'm
That
asking
was
for a
great.
friend.
That was great. No, but there was another candidate who's actually been doing like Mike
Broadway,
impersonations
probably
and
the
all that.
Broadway guy. He's heard he's been killing it.
And they wanted that kid to play him. They went with the nephew because Jermaine was the main one behind the movie.
Gotta keep it in house, man. I ain't
Yeah,
mad at that.
and apparently the nephew didn't do his due. And apparently they kind of shitted on Mike's legacy in this movie. And Janet seen that and she went off the hinges like, nah, man, y'all not gonna do my brother Mike like that. Nah,
Let's
he's a
tune in and
fucking
watch.
icon. Word up. Talk about that. Let's get back to this. Jermaine Dupri.
And a Ferrari Jaguar switching 4 lanes.
Gotcha. Video music box.
Oh man, the greatest hip hop video show ever, in my opinion.
Shout out to Ralph McDaniels. He's gotten his flowers on other podcasts and other shows and all that, but shout out to Ralph McDaniels.
Yes.
Motherfuckers would literally run
After school,
home,
facts.
bro.
Channel 31. If you know, you know.
Hell yeah. I was telling my girl that it was like a public access type of channel.
Yes.
It was in the extra channels on the spin dial. You know what I mean? Shout out to Rob McDaniels, man. You set off so many minds. You ignited so much within the hoods, man, within the rappers and all that. Like every artist that came from that era gotta give Ralph McDaniels
100%.
all the fucking props in the world, bro. And then I found out years later that he was the one behind a lot of the music videos too.
Crazy.
He was shooting a lot of the music videos. So yeah, shout out to Ralph McDaniels, video music
Legendary
box, man.
show, man. Forget about it. That was my jam right there. Dude. Just like you said, run home after school
Hell yeah.
and tap in. You know what I'm
Word
saying?
up.
I hope I seen something new. And
Hell
even
yeah.
even if it was a re-one, I was tapped in. And imagine having a 3:30 slot or 4 o'clock slot, and he was doing numbers back then. I know he was.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
shout out to Ralph McDaniels.
DJ Kid Capri.
Oh man, love that guy. Every time I hear Kid Capri, I think about Noriega. Shout out to NORE when he said he walked into the room and he was showing the nigga pornos.
Yeah.
But shout out to Kid Capri. From what I understand, he's one of the best. You know, he'll move a crowd, the crowd
Yeah.
mover.
Shout out to Kid Capri.
And get better, man. I know that you've been dealing with some medical issues, man. So
Yeah.
we wish you all the best. Over
Word. Shout out to Kid Capri, man. It was DJs like Kid Capri, Ron G, Dirty Harry, my bro G-Bo the Pro.
Double R. House parties.
Yes, and
Double R
DJ
number
Ray.
16. Forget
DJ
about
Ray
it.
Double R. It was God Doo-Wop.
Oh.
Shout out to my guy Doo-Wop, Tony Touch. You know, I was on the mixtape circuit back then, but I wasn't as known as them guys. You know what I'm saying? But it was those guys that paved the way for a lot of the DJs to do what they do now, you know? And myself as a DJ, I say this all the time. We need to pay more homage to the mixtape era DJs, the blend tape DJs, because yo, man, before Puff was doing any of them fucking remixes with Mary and putting hip hop behind it, yo, Kid Capri and them niggas was doing that shit on mixtapes, man.
Talk about it.
That's where the fuck Puff got that shit from. Fuck you, Puff. You know what I'm saying? For the shit you did or whatever. I never liked you anyway, but
First.
he stole that like remix and shit, like the way he was doing the remixes with Mary.
Brought it to a commercial.
Yeah. And believe it or not, I gotta give a lot of props to fucking Ron G.
Shout out Ron G.
Because yo, a lot of people don't know that Miss Jones got her start on Ron G mixtapes. She used to
was
sing on the
saying,
intros.
Yeah.
So if you really go back and you listen, she was doing shit before Mary was doing. Before Puff, because I know that wasn't Mary's doing. That was Puff's doing, you know, with the remixing and doing because he did it not only with Mary, he did it with every fucking artist that touched his label.
So what you think? You think it's because he had his finger on the pulse of the culture at the time? Like
It was
bringing
because
something-
he was throwing parties. He was a promoter.
Right.
Puff was a promoter. He threw this shit in City College where all them fucking kids got
Trampled,
trampled,
yeah.
fucking shitbag. And I knew about that even back in the days with the City College shit because my brother was there. My brother attended that shit.
he was good.
Yeah, my brother got out safe and all that, but my brother was there. I remember my brother coming home and talking about that shit. Word, my older brother Philip. And yeah, man. So I knew from back then that he was a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I started to hear him come out on records, you know, it was like word. Like he had a little label and all that, but the remix idea came from the mixtape DJs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Fire. Speaking of mixtapes, if you haven't gotten the New Yorican mixtape by Willie B,
Word.
that shit is a problem. I mean, you know, I got I got old man Billy's number, but I definitely had to support that. I called him right away. He put up a clip and he sends me this fucking drive, and
Yeah.
I called him. I called him real quick on this. It was around Christmas time. I said, "Yo, I've been playing this shit for 3 days in my car, wherever I go, and everybody always put a smile on their face when they hear this fucking mixtape. So,
Yeah.
you know, support your boy. The shit is fire.
Word.
If you love blend tapes, if you want some New York shit,
Word
this
up.
is the tape for you. It's fire.
A lot of people were like, "Yo, you started a trend," and because the mixtape is different. It's called the New Yorican Blend Tape,
My bad.
right? And it was different. I took some Southside records and put them over hip hop
Killed
beats and
it.
shit.
Killed it.
And I wasn't the first one to do it. I don't know who the first one is to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this, and from the research I've done, I'm the first one to do a whole full length mixtape
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
of just that. You know what I'm saying? And stay tuned because volume 2 is coming. Fucking parade.
Oh,
Word up.
movie.
And for this one, oh, y'all about to, it's about to be like y'all, somebody gonna throw up.
Yeah,
Somebody
if
gonna
it gets
throw up.
better than this. It's so,
Somebody,
I'm so old
somebody
school.
gonna throw up.
Yo, Will, I called you, right? You sent me, what's the first, I don't know if you remember this, but I said, yo, Papa, can I get that shit on a CD? And the nigga was like,
Yeah.
what? The nigga was like, what? I said, I need that on a CD. You know what I'm saying? I drive a 2013, baby. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get that
Yeah.
on a CD.
I remember that.
I'm still
You're
waiting
not
on
the
my
only
CD.
one. It was funny because shout out to my man TC, from TDT Crew, the old legend graffiti, you know, writer or whatever. And he had hit me up because he's ordered a couple of thumb drives for me, custom thumb drives. And he was like, yo, I need that shit. And I was like, yeah, no doubt. And he was like, yo, well, can you put that on a cassette? Yo, and I paused for a minute. I was like, yo, wait a minute. Because I had to think about that shit. Like, yo, wait a minute. Did he really just ask me if I could put that on the
That's
cassette?
crazy. Probably send that shit up north. Them
But-
niggas ain't even using cassette tapes up north.
Nah, not no more. Not no more. Shit, when I left up north, I left with all my tapes. Yeah,
I only
now I
drink
know they
champagne
got.
when I'm thirsty. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Shout out to Murder.
Word. We may have to blur that out.
I'm
for
sorry.
Branding purposes.
Oh, yeah,
but,
no. This is under the pavement.
Yeah, it's
juice.
under the pavement where it's it's a conversation and I ask people some questions,
Yeah,
man.
man. I'm happy to be
No,
here, man.
I smoke my weed. People drink. I may have a drink. You may never know.
Listen.
This is a lot different from being on the radio because there ain't no music involved, and I could get to talk to the individuals, you know, a lot deeper and further.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we may add a freestyle at the end. You know what I mean? You never know what happens. I'm gonna get into something else I wanted to ask you. So, are you into like cinema?
Not really. I'm a
Movies,
big
you're not a-
documentary guy.
You're a documentary
Yeah,
guy.
I'm a
Okay.
documentary guy. But what's up? Let's talk
So
about it.
now I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about them making a Heat Part 2?
I loved part one. I adapted some of my ideology from that movie. I
Well,
applied to my real
Apparently,
life.
this is supposed to be like the prequel.
I'm into
They're
it.
going
Let's see.
back to when Neil and them were young.
I'm fucking
and-
with it.
The actors that I've seen so far that they've casted or supposedly casted, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. I just hope that they don't do what they did with Carlito's Way.
Yeah, that was. You just mad because Puff was in that shit.
Nah, it ain't even have to do. Puff actually was decent in the movie as an actor. He was decent. Not even gonna fucking front. It was the storyline. What really got me annoyed in the second part, the Carlito's Way, was how you bring Louis Guzman back
Shout out, Louis
and he
Guzman.
played a different character,
great.
like a whole different character. Like,
That was worse than Belly Part 2. I'm asking for a friend. I watch documentaries.
Oh man,
I'm asking for a
that
friend.
one, yo, watching that movie, yo, Game. I'm sorry, but watching that movie hurt my brain, bro.
Why?
It was so bad.
Well, they said the same thing about Nas's acting in part 1.
Hell no, Paul One is a fucking classic.
It is a classic. I love it, but they said Nas was looking crazy.
Nas is not an actor, but he played himself in that movie. Really,
He played himself? Or
Played
he
him-
played himself?
No, he played himself.
He played
like
himself or he played himself?
Yeah, I know, right? But he played himself. Like he actually adapt. There was nothing for him to adapt to play that character.
The nigga's still in the United States of America. Papa, when you going back to Africa,
Yeah,
Nas,
I
I
know.
bought my Ring camera. We need you in.
Word. Yeah, shout out to Nas who
Love
fucking
Esco. What up, man?
who has invested in probably like 20 different
Brilliant.
companies that have blown. He invested in the Ring
Yeah, 100%.
with the Amazon shit, and that shit blew. So shout out to Nas.
I love Nas, man. I love your style, man.
But yeah, I just hope they don't botch the Heat 2.
Yeah, I love
The way
to see
they
it, though.
fucked up
I would love to
the
see
other
it.
one.
Part 1 was dope. So
Yeah,
look forward
man.
to it.
With that, we're gonna close this thing out.
Already?
Yeah,
I was
we
having
got. Yeah, we 50 minutes in. We
50
trying to
minutes.
we trying to keep the podcast to
As you should.
an hour.
Well,
I
thank you very
appreciate
much
you
for
for
the
coming up.
opportunity. I
And this
appreciate
ain't the
you.
last time y'all gonna see him up here, cause he probably gonna be up here like 3-4 more times to come sit down here and chop it up with
Yeah,
you. Let the people know where they can find you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, before I stop, I brought him up here. I want y'all to know this. I brought him up here. So I put an album out. It's gonna be 2 years now, I think, or almost a year and a half, something like that, called Smack on Wax. I remember
I've been outside.
while I was putting this project together, my little cousin hit me and was like, "Yo, there's this dude who did Sting up here, and he nice." Cause
Sounds
Red was the one that pointed me in your direction.
It's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Red was like, "Yo," he said, "Yo, this is my man," or he said, "Yo, this dude did something up here. He did like a performance or whatever," or the dude asked me something. He's like, "Yo, he's more in your field," cause Red do the young nigga bop. So he was like, "Yo, he's more in your field of what you do." So I was like, "Word," and I was busy at the time, and I had no mind. But then I started working on that Smack on Wax, and man,
Well,
but
here's
yeah.
my perspective. So real quick, I know we're
Mhm.
wrapping it up. So Will popped up on my timeline, and I was watching his lives before he got banned.
Yeah,
And,
I'm back.
yeah,
I'm back.
Welcome back, by the way.
Word, I'm back on IG. I probably won't be going live too much there though. If you want to catch me live, it's gonna be on Twitch. It's gonna be on TikTok. It's gonna be
Mixcloud.
on Mixcloud and on Kick.
Copy that. So I'm getting to know Will, but I know he's like Mike Tyson, he's volatile. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful what wire you want to touch.
Yeah, yeah.
Nonetheless, pardon me. So he's on a live and he's going off, and he's like, "Yo," you was like, "Yo, I be sending y'all motherfuckers shit. Y'all niggas think I'm bullshit. I'm tired of y'all motherfuckers." You was going off. You was having a moment, and I didn't realize how much pressure it is trying to put something together, do something positive.
Yeah.
And you waiting on people can actually hinder your growth.
Yeah.
And so he was on that type of time where, you know what, I'm about to release the shackles from y'all niggas. It's been 3 months. So I'm in the comments and I just said, "Hey man, I wish I had the opportunity to do something."
And I seen the name and I remembered the name.
And
The
immediately
Instagram handle. Cause Red was the one that was like, "Yo, this is my guy."
shout out to Rap, man.
Word.
Good kid. So he immediately said, "Yo, send me your email."
Word.
And I read it just like that. Send me your email. It was very it was very aggressive.
Yeah, cause I was heated that
He
day,
was
too.
tight. He was on fire. So he sends me this record. It's called Smack on Wax, by the way. And it was so unorthodox. If you guys get a chance, man, go check it out. It's me and my brother by the name of Saucy. And I didn't know what
Shout out to Saucy, man.
yeah, Luchador. My son always got the Luchador mask
Yeah,
on. Nigga, if you
his
wanna
whole
play
his
around.
whole squad, they heavy into that wrestling bar mechanics. That's what I call it, wrestling bar mechanics.
Copy that.
They they reference a lot of wrestling shit, but they are so witty with the way they do it. Like shout out to West Side Gun who kind of started that wave of that shit, but they've kind of outwitted West with it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Saucy and his whole crew.
Shout out to Sauce. So I'm sitting with this record, and you got to hear. If those of you don't know, like Willie said earlier in the podcast, this guy's the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, all kind of shit. He does everything. You name it, he claims it. You know what I'm saying? So I sent him this record. Well, I'm trying to write to this record, and I'm like, immediately, because I'm just getting my legs back, I want to do something old on there. But this record stimulated me to do something new. And I kicked him the record, and he sent it back. It was totally different. It had a person I never heard on it, scratches on there, and I was blown away. I was so happy, to get it back. So thank you for the opportunity to be on Smack on Wax. But I just saw a post you did a couple of days ago, and I called you, and you said, by the way, did you see the post? And I'm like, yeah, nigga. Of course I seen the post.
I'm gonna start working on Smack on Wax too.
As you should, sir.
I'm gonna bring back some of, the original cast members.
Some joints on there, kid.
But I am also gonna bring a new wave of talent.
As you should, sir.
I've always said this, not to compare me to anyone, but if you ever had to put me in a bracket with anyone, I would say you could put me in a bracket with Alchemist. In the sense of, I open my studios to certain artists to create, and it becomes kind of like a rap boot camp. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists have gotten their start with me and then taken off and done what they done in their careers. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Flea Lord. Flea had one album out, which was very overlooked, which shouldn't have been. Shout out to God Bless Beats. The album was dope. It had Conway on it. It had Prodigy on it, but it got overlooked. And then we did I Want Out. And from that moment on, every door opened for him. You know what I'm saying? And he's not the only artist. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Young Ack, man. I think he's dropping Lower Love Part 2. Shout out to Ack Lord, man. It's my guy from work, man. Shout out to Ack.
Yeah, Ack just sent me a record not too long ago. I didn't get a chance to play it. Playlist was full, but shout out to Ack. Yeah, so we're gonna, I'm gonna bring some new talent on this, because I want to open that door the same way Alchemist has opened the door on the West Coast for a lot of artists, Damo Genesis and Earl Sweatshirt and them guys just going over there and creating. I've done the same on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of artists, they start with me and then they go and do their thing. But that's what I want to see. I want to see individuals grow. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of motherfucker that we do something and then you blow and maybe our project didn't blow, but then you start to get traction after because people are looking like, oh, you got a project with Will. Because not to say that I got like the biggest fucking name in the world, but people do know who the fuck I am. And I got to toot my own horn there because I do shake the ground when I do shit.
Understand.
I love this shit to death, and I do shake the fucking ground.
Let's go under the pavement, the podcast.
Yeah, episode 1. But yeah, so Smack on Wax 2. There's gonna be some new guys, that I've been keeping my eye on and my ear, and some female artists that pretty fucking dope. And I'm like, yeah, I want to put them in this pot of gumbo, and we're gonna put Smack on Wax 2 together. You know what I'm saying?
Hope I make the cut, man. Let's go.
You definitely will. At the same time, while me and this guy is cooking the album up.
Oh, quiet. Newsflash.
Yeah.
Nose bone.
Word. Shout out to my guy TJ Arena.
TJ.
We got a project we cooking. I gotta shout TJ out. TJ is gonna shock the motherfucking world. I keep telling this kid he needs to get into battle rap because he's got like the comedy side to his rap too, but his bars are sharp and they're funny and intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Like he's an intelligent rapper. Y'all gonna see because we got an album that we cooking as well. And yeah,
Get ready.
that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, cause I heard what the kid has got prepared to come lay, cause we haven't started laying anything, but he's already got everything mapped, laid out. So once he comes in, it's gonna be knocked joints out. You know what I'm
Fire.
saying? But yeah, TJ Arena, man, pay attention to him.
Shout out to TJ.
But we here with the lettuce. We got a project coming.
Yep, got Basis
Like I
Fabric of
said,
the Dream coming right now.
he got a record out. He got a couple of records out. Let the people know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on social media, _lettuce_NYC. Yeah, same thing for TikTok. I'm not too active work schedule wise, but I try to post. I do the best I can. I'm navigating a world that's unfamiliar to me. You know, this day and age, we're doing everything that we were taught not to do, like take pictures and shit like that. So
Word.
I'm navigating, man, but you could catch me, The Lettuce, you know, Spotify or streaming platforms. There's a few records on there. I probably got like 6 joints. My latest releases are Laugh and Amagard.
Yeah.
You know, Snake Oil coming up. I got the Basis Fabric of a Dream.
Shout out to your brother who's
JR,
on the production.
producer. Yeah, man. Shout out to JR.
We gotta have him come on the
We love him. Yeah,
podcast.
he's in the Shy.
Word.
Shout out to 33 North. What up, boy?
Word.
It's my boy North from
Shout out
Jersey.
to North.
He got a project out right now called The Love Below Zero.
Okay.
And he's the one that's been caring for what it is that I'm doing, similar to you. So it's
Word.
a different vibe.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So shout out to North. What up, baby?
Word. Yeah, man. And shout out to everybody that taps into my radio show each and every week. I know the last 2 weeks it's been on Thursday due to scheduling and due to some computer maintenance that needed to be done. But you know, the show is every Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. This podcast is gonna be bi-weekly. I'm gonna try to do 2 episodes a month. See how it pans out and see how it works. But
I look
we got
forward
my
to
guy
it,
that
man.
let us in the
You already
building.
know, man. Shout out,
I
Will, man.
appreciate you
Thank
for
the
coming through
opportunity. Thanks for
and
having me,
rocking
man.
the first episode with me.
Thanks for having me, man.
You know, it ain't as professional as other podcasts just yet. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get there. You know, we're gonna
It's
get
90
there.
degrees outside. You got a shiesty on, Adidas track pants with some Nikes on. Who told you that's cold? I gotta read the comment section
Okay.
because I gotta know. Who is your big bro? I drive a fast car, real slow. I get fly, head to toe, rock big brands. I keep it low, pocket full of cash, little bit of blow. 1 for the money, 2 for the dollars. I made hundreds of thousands and never went to college. Death could be coming out the closet. I could stop it like a Scud rocket. Quiet sniper marksman, bullseye hit my target. I can't find my market, so I stopped shopping. Made the aftermarket generate more profit. Tighten up my margins. I wanna drop the bag, but I need a bargain. Pardon my jargon. I be swimming on these beats, y'all struggling, drowning. 3 inches of water, 7 grams is a quarter. You need 21 more to secure your order. It's Under the Pavement, the podcast, episode 1. Lettuce, Bostick.
You already know, man.
You're ready.
Lettuce, I appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate you, too.
It's William Bostick, man. It's Under the Pavement, the podcast, episode 1.
Snack on Wax Part 2.
It's a wrap.